In our first story, after facing a wave of backlash, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has quietly suspended its controversial plan to hold prayer and fasting sessions that were aimed at tackling Nigeria's food crisis. Now, the ministry had earlier issued an internal circular inviting its top-level staff, directors, deputy directors, assistant directors, and value chain officers to join weekly spiritual gatherings at its Abuja headquarters. Now, these sessions were tagged Divine Intervention for Protection and National Development, and they were scheduled for June 16th, 23rd, and 30th, respectively. Apparently, the staff were also expected to fast as part of the exercise. But following extreme and intense criticism online, a follow-up memo quietly announced that the program had been postponed until further notice. Now, no official reason was given for this sudden U-turn. But this reversal from this prayer and fasting is coming after online citizens slammed the initiative and questioned why spiritual measures were being prioritized at a time when Nigerians are battling soaring food prices and widespread hunger. For many people, this move felt a little out of touch and a tad unrealistic. Now, we've had this problem a lot of times in Nigeria. We often spiritualize where we should be providing tangible, real-life policies and real-time responses. But let's take a look at social media. This is a tweet from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. They say, the ministry has said that prayer is not an official policy to address food security. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security on Saturday clarified that its suspended internal prayer initiative was not an official policy of the ministry to address agriculture and food security. So why was it in a memo stated as such? At Senior Man says, it is really unfair what is happening in Benue State. There is serious ethnic cleansing and land grabbing going on in Benue State, the food basket of the nation. But the Ministry of Agriculture is organizing fasting and prayers for food security and sustenance. This is unfortunate. At Shehu Mati says, nonsense. Prayer in the face of budget padding, fraud, theft, misappropriation, industrial dishonesty, zero capacity, cluelessness. Let them share money to Islamic clerics and Christian clergies who specialize in commercial prayer. I don't know if there's a budget for that, Maddie. Captain MD says, I feel hurt that all my years studying for my first degree in human nutrition, no one could tell me that the real strategy for food security is prayer and fasting. Elijah's Law. That is very, very interesting. They backtracked very quickly. It wasn't a good time for them over the weekend, I'll tell you that.
All right. And then prayers for the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. It's not, we're a secular state. Nigeria is a secular state. So things that has to do with spiritual exercises shouldn't be on any government memo. That's where they got it wrong. Now saying that, look, it's not an official policy and all. What was it looking for in a memo that was circulated? That's all I have to say.
Well, in a memo, anything can be in it. And they felt that if one aspect isn't working, they go spiritual. And I don't see anything wrong with that from my perspective. It is because of our attitude towards prayer, we find it quite troubling that that organization, or that ministry rather, decided to go to the aspect of using prayer to addressing their security issues. Are we saying we do not pray in our homes? In some organizations, people pray. So there is nothing, from my perspective, that was wrong with their decision to pray. If they felt that they need divine intervention, so be it. If physical intervention isn't working, there was nothing totally wrong with that, because if this is not, if this is the first time, it's because it was made public. They must have been doing this one way or the other from my perspective, and because it was now made public, it became a problem. I do not see anything wrong with seeking divine intervention, even for your organization.
Seek divine intervention for your organization, but when you make an official memo that is circulated.
It's a memo. You know, memos are used for communicating.
Yes, I know memos. I know
right.
Memos are used for communication and all that, but anything you put in a memo and circulate within the organization, it looks like an official stand that you have taken on that issue.
They didn't force anybody.
Nobody is forcing anybody. What I'm saying is religion is a personal thing.
There are people who come together and pray in organizations. There are people who do that. Why is that not a problem?
No problem there, because it's a private organization.
Toma is getting hot.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
I'm not against prayer. Please don't get me wrong.
Oh, no, of course.
I'm not against an organization praying, you know. But what I'm saying is that for a government ministry in a country that is secular. If you want stuff like that, do it without circulating, no paper trail. Talk to the people and invite them in.
It is called corporate prayer. Everybody come together
And pray.
And pray. There's nothing
Corporate prayer is when 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 people come
So
together
they made it
and
a
pray.
memo, and anybody that wants to be part of the corporate prayer would have come. It's not like they were forced.
Veronica and Toba, frankly speaking, I think on this one I would follow Vero on this line. Now we need enough Holy Ghost fire to burn off all the people who are causing agricultural insecurity in this country. We took a story that is going on in Benue State currently, which I will touch on a little bit after. Benue State being the food basket of the nation, these guys are going there and, not helping us to go into our farms.
Yeah.
And so if guns and bullets and bombs cannot do it, Holy Ghost fire can do it. That's why the Minister of Agriculture is saying, let's change strategy. But that's on the lighter side of the matter.